Hello friends, now Elton John's new record is out. It's a collaboration with Britney Spears and it follows on from his collaboration last year with duo Lipa, and it seems to be a similar sort of record. Now I haven't heard it yet, so I'm going to listen to it on the headphones in a moment and give you my initial reaction. Now, I've been reading about this record, and what we appear to have is Andrew Watt, the producer, who put together Dua Lipa's work with Elton. He's worked together on this one, and we've got parts of Tiny Dancer, which as we know is from Babylon Across the Water. We've got The One, that's from 1992, so that's 21 years later. And we've got a little bit of Don't Go Breaking My Heart. So it's going to be interesting to see how these have been worked together. Now, I've got to be honest here and say I know next to nothing about Britney Spears, and that's my fault. It's not a criticism of her at all. It's just not my sort of music. I couldn't name anything that she's recorded, I'm afraid, but she's obviously been a very significant figure in the development of pop music over the past 20 years, and she's obviously an artist of great talent and skill in terms of delivering the music and in terms of writing the music. So it's an interesting get-together. Now, Elton has been talking about this relationship, and he's become kind of a father figure to Britney Spears, who has experienced quite considerable problems in her personal life in recent times. I won't go into those now, they've been well documented. But what he has said that's of interest is that when he was young, he had nobody to turn to, or rather, he didn't want to turn to anybody. He thought he could solve all his own problems. And he's realised now that, of course, he couldn't. So he's providing that sort of role to a number of artists now who are having difficulties, whether in their professional or personal lives. They can turn to Elton, and obviously he's got decades of wisdom in the music business and how to survive. So, all power to him for doing this. And these kind of records come out of relationships like that. You don't just phone somebody up and say, do you want to do a duet? It builds from a relationship of trust. So the record is starting with Hold Me Closer in a kind of muffled sort of way. And obviously I can't play the music to you because I'd be hit for copyright. So I'm just going to listen through to this. Now the beat is coming in now to 15 seconds. We're using some lyrics here from The One, but they're to a different tune. So there's a bit of a mix going on here. A spirit born of earth and water, but it's to a different tune. A bit confusing. Okay, so now we're getting back to the refrain of Tiny Dancer. This is using Britney Spears' voice. Can the headlights on? Apparently, the original vocal of Elton is being used here. We've got this disco dance beat, similar to we had with the duo Lipa record. There's been quite a lot of work done on their voices here. It's a little bit hard to hear who's singing. So we've got Elton's voice coming in here, again using the lyric from The One, but to this different tune. So quite clever this, what's going on. And his voice is working really well with Britney Spears. And we're getting back now to that refrain, Hold Me Closer. What I haven't heard yet is the actual original refrain to The One, which I felt was one of the strongest parts of that song. I haven't used that yet. I'm getting right to the end of the track now. What I haven't heard is anything from Don't Go Breaking My Heart. Have I missed it? 20 seconds left here. Nice bit of piano from Elton at the end there. I think this is new piano he's recorded for this. And it's a nice play out actually. And we're almost at the end of the track. We're at the end of the track. So they played around with the voices there a little bit, different textures of voices. But that's kind of what they did with Cold, Cold Heart as well. So we can understand that. I like the use of the refrain from Tiny Dancer. What I was missing though was a bit more of the melody from The One, which is one of Elton's greatest singles and greatest compositions. I would like to see that more in there. And I must admit I did miss Don't Go Breaking My Heart. So if anybody can point out where in the 3 minutes 23 that one occurs, I'll have another listen for it. It may just be a few chord progressions from that in there. So overall, anything new from Elton is always popular and is always interestingly awaited. I'm sure this will do very well as well. And of course, what it does is it brings Elton's music to fans of Britney Spears as well. So they may then go back to something like Madman Across the Water and see what they think to that. They might get quite a shock because it's a very deep and reflective album, introspective album. Perhaps not quite what they're expecting, but of course, as Elton fans, we know it's a brilliant album with some great songwriting on it. Anyway, that's some initial thoughts. Let me know what you think. I know some of these compositions have not been that popular with sort of die-hard Elton fans, but he's going in a new direction. He's reaching a new audience, so I suppose we should be pretty happy about that. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and it's always good to hear from you. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, we're still standing.